Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel. Today is a very fast guide on when to push in Apex Legends. Now, what I want you to do is watch this guide back when you want to know when to push, and this will become your household guide that you're always going to come back to time and time again. So let us begin with number one. Number one, did you do damage or get a knock? In this example, if you do a significant amount of damage, this is when you push. If you push, what I'm going to highlight is that you have 5 seconds to make this decision. Go ahead and pop a battery for us. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Times out just perfectly, getting there just in time to ensure that you get that knock. So if you're going to push, you have to do so timely. Number two, are your teammates nearby? You may not do a significant amount of damage, but if you have your teammates nearby and you realize this person is isolated and their team is perhaps a little further away than they need to be, this can be a big indicator. So if I turn around and realize that my Loba is a little perhaps too far away, then we need to be closer together to ensure that we make this an effective push. Otherwise, all you're going to be doing is going for a 1v1, and that's not good. So remember, rule number two, ensure that your teammates are nearby. Number three, is there good positioning and can you make it in time? Remember, if their positioning is a little further than the 5 seconds that we discussed to make an effective push, and you have your teammates nearby, let's say our Loba's here next to us, you need to ensure that you can make it there in a timely manner and that you have strong positioning as you move up. In this example, you'll notice that our positioning, we definitely could get caught out and we're at a higher risk. And they could be closer to their teammates and we don't know where their teammates are at. So remember, again, rule number three, do you have good positioning and can you make it in time to get to them if you do significant damage? Number four, do you have utility or the supplies? Now, in this example, we do have a Loba to get these supplies, but if you look at your inventory and you have no cells, this could be a red flag of whether you should push this fight or not because you have no reset potential if you get cracked. Now, when it comes to utility, you could indeed throw your utility if you get a little bit of damage in and push your opponent out. Now, maybe you push them into the building, maybe they back up from their spot, but utility can be used to have your opponent move from ideal positioning. And if you do get damage done, then you can work your way in, but ensure that damage is done. Number five, is this fight worth losing zone? Let's say this fight takes an extended period of time. Remember, you should always evaluate if this fight is worth it. If you win this fight, will you gain a net position on the map? Or will you gain more time or resources or utility because you have the advantage? Now, in this example, let's pretend the zone is pulling really far away and it is closing on us right as we speak, and we don't have the amount of utility or heals, then we need to rotate and go to zone. So at this point, you need to ensure that your teammates do back up with you and that you leave this encounter. Now, if they don't leave, the best thing you can do is just rotate and keep pinging and get them to leave. Or let them know you don't have the resources, utility, no damage was done, and the positioning doesn't look good. Now, remember, this guide is very, very important. If you do not follow any of these criteria, then perhaps it may not be a good fight to take. So time and time again, if you come back and you struggle when you should take a fight, remember these rules. Remember, rules can be broken, but that all depends on how much damage you've done, your utility, and how your positioning looks, and also your communication with your teammates.